Throughout history, taking a stand has been depicted mainly in forms of violence amongst the adults of the time period. Examples include, but aren't limited to, the French Revolution, protests at Tiananmen Square, the women's suffrage movement, and even our very own Civil War. Today, it is encouraged to take a stand from an early age, or at least we think it is, right? I mean, what does taking a stand really mean? And how do you do it?
And for me, taking a stand is fighting for what you believe in, even if the entire world is against you. Taking a stand is really important because if nobody spoke out about what they didn't like or what was unfair or unjust, then nothing would ever get changed, and then we would all be living in this cycle of injustice because no one wants to speak up.
Taking a stand just means like owning who you are, not being afraid of anything, and just being the best you can be. That's what I think taking a stand.
So taking a stand to me is standing up for something, as the word says, but standing up for it no matter how bad the consequences will be. And also because I'm gay, classic example, because I'm gay, taking a stand also to me is like coming out.
Taking a stand means to protect those who do not have a voice, basically speaking out for them, protecting them if they're in trouble.
Speaking up for what's right and not caring what people think about your opinion.
Standing up for yourself and fighting for what you believe in.
Taking a stand to me means when no one is there for you, you have to stick up for yourself and defend what you think is right, whether or not anyone else believes you or not. Just because other people don't agree with you doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong, and that you should always stick up for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the only person who's going to be there for you.
To me, taking a stand means to protect those people who can't protect themselves.
Well, one time I wanted to go to this party, and my parents, they didn't let me because they didn't like the race of the person whose party it was, and I thought that was not okay. I thought that wasn't right, that wasn't rational, and I ended up going to the party, and I tried to explain to my parents how a person's race doesn't necessarily determine what type of person they are.
I've taken a stand when I saw somebody not being treated equally as everyone else should. I spoke up for them and helped them for themselves.
In the past, I've taken a stand for my little brother when he was getting bullied, and I thought it was right to fight them off, so I beat them up.
For me, one time that I took a stand was about 2 years ago when I decided to give up meat because I was watching documentaries and reading up on it and stuff, and I realized that this is not cool. These are actual beings that are smart like me and that feel just like me. So why is it okay for me to take away their lives just because they don't speak my language, just because I can't communicate with them personally? No, that's not cool. And it's just so terrible what goes into that industry. And just because of my culture, being raised in this culture where there's a disconnect, right? You don't eat pig, you eat pork. You don't eat cow, you eat beef. And it was just crazy because I was raised in this culture where it's not a meal without meat, and that you have to eat it. When I told my grandmother that I was vegetarian, she told me that if I don't eat fish, I'm gonna die, and I'm just that's not necessarily true. And I had to stand up for what I believed in, because if I don't stand up for what I believe in, if I don't take a stand, then who am I? I don't want to be a mirror just reflecting on what other people want to see. I want to be my own person, and I want to fight for something that I care about and believe in wholeheartedly, and that's just so important in the world. So yeah.
Well, recently my friend was getting picked on by some boys in the lunchroom. They were throwing food at her, and her being the shy person that she is, she tried to ignore them, but they kept on throwing food at her. So I decided I should speak up to these boys, and then I did, and I told them, do not bother my friend, and eventually they stopped.
In the past, in junior high, my teacher showed me a clip of 9/11, and those innocent lives that were lost that day inspired me to join the United States Army. And for me, that is taking a stand for those people that couldn't. help those people that lost their lives on that day.
Growing up, I was never taught to be unique, to fight for my beliefs, and to be an independent woman. It was actually quite the opposite. In my community, taking a stand was frowned upon. It made one the outcast, the outsider, and no one really dared question authority. However, I was never the child to sit still and follow the norms of society. I learned that taking a stand isn't necessarily a bad thing, rather, it merely means defending oneself and their beliefs.